Hiya, welcome to Darren in the studio. Thanks for swinging around for another video. It's great that you popped by, and I know that it's been ages since we got together. I think it's been about 2 weeks since I dropped a video on this YouTube channel, and it's just, you know what it's like, life kind of gets in the way of making YouTube videos. And also life gets in the way of making radio programs as well. And that's what this video is kind of about. I often get asked on YouTube about my radio shows because I mention them every now and again. I don't bleat about them. I don't sort of go on about them all the time, but I do mention them occasionally on some of my videos. And I thought what I'd do is, because on my radio shows I play all sorts of formats. We play vinyl, we play CDs, we play cassettes, we play mini discs, we play all kinds of formats. If I can get it and transfer it onto the computer to play on the radio show, I will do. So what I thought I'd do is, every now and again, I thought I'd do a video and show you some of the items that we're playing on this week's radio shows, as of course, this recording. Now I do 2 radio shows. I have a couple of shows on a radio station called Corby Radio, which is in the Northamptonshire area of the United Kingdom. Corby Radio has been around since 1996. I've been a presenter on Corby Radio since 1996. I do 2 shows for them. I do a Wednesday evening rock show, which goes out at 9 o'clock, and I also do a program on a Friday evening at 8 called The Session. Obviously the rock show is a rock show. Both programs are an hour long. They're both recorded here in my studio at home, and I send them online to the station. The other show that I do, The Session, is a bit of everything really. We play all kinds of music on The Session, and maybe this video will give you an idea of the kind of music that we play. We also on The Session do a little sort of, just for fun, mystery voice and all that kind of stuff. So that's 2 radio shows, Wednesday evenings at 9 on Corby Radio, the rock show, and Friday evenings at 8, The Session on Corby Radio as well. Corby Radio is available in the Corby area and surrounding towns and villages, like I say, in Northamptonshire, on 96.3 FM on the old standard radio. And of course you can listen to Corby Radio anywhere in the world. As long as you've got an internet connection, you can hear us wherever you are. Just get your smartphone out and you can sort of just check out Corby Radio, listen via that. You can listen via smart speaker and all that kind of stuff. It's easy nowadays. Anyone can listen to any radio station anywhere around the world. So that's Corby Radio. Check us out on there if you want to do that. So this video is basically a selection of 10 albums that I'm going to be featuring on my radio shows this week. The first 5 are going to be featured on the rock show on Wednesday evening, and the second 5 are going to be featured on The Session on Friday evening. So they're not in alphabetical order. You know, usually I do them in alphabetical order. These are in order of where they're going to be on the program. And of course I'm playing more than 5 tracks on each show. I've just chosen 10 because there's quite a few sort of vinyl that we're playing this week. So we're going to start with 5 selections that I'm playing on this week's rock show. This is Alice Cooper. I'm going to be playing a track from this album called Dirty Diamonds. This is Alice Cooper, recorded live in Switzerland in 2005. This particular recording was made available quite a few years ago. Back in 2005, I think they released it as a DVD and a live album. This is part of the Montrose Jazz Festival. Alice Cooper live in Switzerland 2005. Really nice album. This was a reissue from 2010, I think. Originally released in 2006, reissued on vinyl in 2014, sorry, 2014 on the Eagle Records label. It's a double album, nice sort of gatefold, white vinyl this one. Like I say, on the Rock Show I'm going to be playing Dirty Diamonds from this album. Next selection that I'm going to show you, these are the Rolling Stones. This is a CD that I'm going to be playing on the Rock Show. I'm going to be playing the track Love in Vain from this album. This album doesn't have the CD inside it. Oops, the sleeve's shot out. This CD doesn't have the disc inside, because what I do is when I'm recording the shows, even though everything's on the computer, I always keep the CDs in a CD wallet at hand, just in case the computer decides to fall over and decide it's not going to play. This is the album Let It Bleed, of course. This was 1969, I think. Let me just check. I can't see from here. Yes, 1969 on my playlist. Let It Bleed, playing the track Love in Vain on the Rock Show this week. Next track that we're going to be playing on the Rock Show, which is from vinyl. This is Kisses off the Soundboard album, and I don't know how to pronounce this place. Des Moines? Somebody needs to tell me how to spell it phonetically. I can say it right. Des Moines, I think it is, November the 29th, 1977, featuring, of course, the original band. This would have been on the Love Gun tour. The track I'm playing off this album is track number 4 on side 2, Shot Me, which includes Ace Frehley's full 70s guitar solo. I'm not really a big fan of the soundboard recordings, to be fair. The one I really like is the Donington one, but I just don't like the artwork. I think they could have gone, although they wanted to represent what bootlegs used to look like. Bootlegs don't look like this anymore, do they? Bootlegs have really got really nice covers and stuff like that. So I think Kiss have missed out on a little trick there. And it seems that the off the soundboard sort of releases seems to have stopped now. I think they've done 5 of them. So the Rock Show this week will feature Ace Frehley's Shot Me from this, from 1977. I always wonder as well when I'm doing these videos why my camera seems to move all the time. I think there's somebody in here that's making it move. I'm going to be playing a Guns N' Roses track on this week's Rock Show. This is from the Spaghetti Incident album. The track that we're playing is going to be a song called Attitude, which is originally recorded by the Misfits. I'm going to be playing the Guns N' Roses version. Unfortunately for the radio show, I had to clean it up a little bit. So if you do listen to the Rock Show this coming week, then you'll have to fill in the gaps yourself, because it's got a bit of bad language on it. Not a bad little record, this. Got a few sort of, it's almost like Guns N' Roses favourite songs covered. When did this come out? This is 1993. Guns N' Roses, the Spaghetti Incident, playing Attitude off this record. I think this is going to be the last one for the Rock Show. This is a funky kind of record, and I was gifted this a couple of years ago. This is a band called Spirit. Those of you in the know will know who this particular chap is. This is Randy California, as far as I'm aware. I'm sure it is. It is. And he did Got a Line on You, which has been recorded by Alice Cooper and Blackfoot. This is an album called Farther Along. I'm going to be playing a track on here which sounds like I'm saying it wrong, but I'm not. I should be saying Dog Eat Dog World, but it's not. It's actually called World Eat World Dog, the track that I'm playing off this. This is a nice little American import, I think. Spirit, featuring Randy California. Farther Along. This week's Rock Show will feature World Eat World Dog. Okay, like I say, I also do a program on Corby Radio called The Session. That goes out on a Friday at 8 o'clock. And like I say, on The Session, we have all kinds of different music. and it sort of reflects more the kind of music that I like, which is everything really. So I've selected another 5 albums that I'm going to be taking tracks from this week's session. First one is this one. This is John Lennon and Yoko Ono's Double Fantasy album. This would be what, 1980? I think this is, yeah. This is a nice little Canadian pressing on the Geffen label. You would have seen this album on my channel before. The song that I'm playing from this is the Yoko Ono track I'm Your Angel, which is a really, really nice track. A lot of people think all Yoko Ono ever did was sort of scream down microphones and stuff like that, and she did do that. However, she did make some nice music as well, and this is a lovely album. This has got a lot of big records on here, like Just Starting Over is on here, Dear Yoko, Beautiful Boys, Woman is on here. Really, really nice album. Yoko Ono is featured on this week's session with the track I'm Your Angel. Next one, Mark Bolan. This is a quirky little CD that I think this came out, I don't know when actually, it says on the CD when it came out, and the CD is over there. So this is sort of like back end of the 90s, I think this came out. This is a funny little album called Misty Mist. It's basically a collection of Mark Bolan's demos that he recorded in the 60s. The track that I'm playing from this comes from 1966, and it's a track called Charlie, which they sort of re-recorded in the 80s and put a backing track to for a Mark Bolan release. But I'm playing the original demo version, Charlie, from this album on the session this week. Like I say, a funny little album on the Tring label, who used to put out really cheap sort of CDs. I think it's on the Tring. They were all sort of the same, weren't they? Sort of track listing there. Mark Bolan, the album's called Misty Mist. Collection of demos, as far as I'm aware, from the 60s. The track I'm playing is Charlie on the session this week. I do apologise if you can hear the traffic outside. It's such a beautiful day here in Leicestershire, United Kingdom. I thought I'd get the window open and have a breeze coming through. Next up, here's a track I'm playing on the session this week by a guy called White Buffalo. Really like this album. This is Hogtied Revisited, which came out in 2014 on the Earache label. Nice little 2 vinyl set. Track I'm playing on this is a track called Carnage from this album. Playing that on the session this week. And the thing is about the session and the rock show, the music that I choose and that I play is all music that I want to play. Over the years, I mean, I've been doing radio now for about 28 years, and over the years I've created playlists of music that I want to play. And what I do is, each decade has its own list, and I just randomly choose music from those decades using a randomizer that's on my phone, and it really it enables me to choose music and play on the programs which is so juxtaposition. You know, you might hear Jim Reeves and the Ramones in the same program, because it's all about the music, you know. So that's why I thought this would be a good idea with the albums, because it gives you a nice overview of not only the stuff that I'm playing on my radio shows this coming week, but also stuff that's in my collection. And instead of trying to come up with a theme or an idea for a video, it's just a nice way of showing you some of my records that I have in my collection. The last album, no, not the last album, last vinyl album that I'm going to show you is this one. This is the Long Riders. This is their latest album. Came out last year, 2023. This is September, November. This was the first album the Long Riders did after the sad passing of Tom Stevens, who sadly passed away a couple of years before this came out. Tom is featured on this album. The Long Riders are one of my favourite bands, they really are, and they've come back with a couple of albums that have really, really hit the mark. And this is another great album. The track that I'm playing off here is a song called To the Manor Born, which is sang by this chap here, which is Stephen McCarthy. This is Greg Solders on the drums, Stephen McCarthy and Sid Griffin. They're the surviving members of the Long Riders. This is produced by Ed Stedham, who was quite famous with the Ramones back in the day. The song that I'm playing from this, like I said, is To the Manor Born. I'm going to be playing that on the session this Friday. Of course, these dates that I'm giving you are of this recording. So if you're listening to this or watching this video in 2040, then I'm sorry, I'm probably not around anymore, and you know, the show doesn't exist. But if you're picking this up as I've recorded it, it's good to go. Last one, I'm going to be playing this on the session on Friday. This is Paul Stanley, of course, from Kiss fame. This is Paul's solo album. It's 2005, I want to say, 2006. I'm always a year out. This is Paul Stanley's Live to Win album. This album only ever came out on CD. There are bootleg vinyl copies of it, and I'm surprised that Universal Music hasn't issued this on vinyl. Maybe they'll put it out. This is a great little 10-track collection of solo stuff from Paul. The track that I'm playing from this is a nice little love song towards the end of the album. Loving You Without You Now is the song, as the track listing. Paul Stanley's Live to Win. This is on the Universal New Door label, 2006. Paul Stanley's Live to Win solo album. Track that I'm playing, Loving You Without You Now. Going to be playing that on the session. Like I said, you can catch me on the radio wherever you are in the world on Wednesday evenings. These are UK times, by the way. Wednesday evening for the rock show, Corby Radio, 9 o'clock, and for the session on Corby Radio at 8 o'clock on Fridays. So hopefully you can join me for that, and again, hopefully you'll join us here in the studio for another video here on YouTube. Until that time, look after yourselves, look after each other. Let's get your views and your comments and all that kind of stuff, and we'll catch you again soon for another video. Ta-da.